What's the crack, lads? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to stop the meta. Now, I'm not solely talking about blitz curler, which is easily spammable. Also, I'm not just talking about bullet header, which, let's be honest, if you spam crosses, it's extremely easy to score a lot of headers in quick succession, right? Today I'm talking about the direct play, the central play, the 1-2 passes, not getting caught in possession, and 1-2 touch and moves, touch and goals, right? It's so broken, especially with the gameplay at the moment. You'll see there, a minute 54 gone in the clock, and we're already 1-0 up from a kickoff. So a lot of the players that are now really top rank are playing very streamlined central attacks. We'll break that down in a second, but as you see on screen, it's literally touch and go, run off the defender, wait for the AI to flick off, or to slip off, or to sleep a little bit. And this is down to the fact that you have got a very solid bank of 5. You've got your 5 in midfield there, and then of course you have your 5 attackers. So your banks of 5, you've 3 banks of 5 with how you approach the game, right? And it's just super easy to spam that central play. Yes, it can take obviously a little bit of skill to keep going back to knocking on the same door, but if you're looking for something different, this is what I have for you, right? So we have been having a lot of fun, even with all the gameplay issues, with this modified 3-2-3-2. There's a couple of really important steps. The first is to have 3 very mobile, all access areas, really solid defenders at your back line. It doesn't really matter who you have, it doesn't matter play style, it doesn't really matter anything. We're going to be shoving defensive on our individual instructions on our left centre back and our right centre back as part of our back 3. Have in the middle, if you can, somebody such as Rijkaard, who's a build-up player. So he's going to be a very passive. He's not going to be aggressive, not going to be super deep or super attacking. Speaking of deep, we have the main cog in the wheel here. Deep line on Patrick Vieira. Now, Patrick Vieira, if you don't have him, we have a couple of alternatives. Any anchorman will really do, or a really high defensive box-to-box with deep line is super good as well, right? Any of these boys, Rodri, Declan Rice, Gilberto Silva, any of these. But what Vieira's job is essentially sitting in front as a sweeper with this back 3, with the way that the game develops. However, that's not the most important step in this setup, and that will have to be done before the match. So you can't do it until you're matched up with somebody and you're before the match in your pre-game plan. This is man marking with your other double pivot DMF or CMF. In this situation, we have got Gravenberch, right? Now, it can be Yaya Toure, it can be anybody. Any box-to-box or defensive type CMF that can get back in the pitch. When you stick man marking on him, when you're playing a 3 at the back, it's insane. I mean, he just covers so many gaps that the AI leaves. There's a slight glitch with this that can be abused if a player is actually able to play out wide. But a lot of the time, you're just about getting bodies in the middle of the pitch. That's what it is. When you are stopping meta players do not like when you hold on to the ball. You can still score with this. This is the second part of it, is the sub-tactic setup, right? And this is going to be hugely important with whoever you're playing on your either left midfield, your right midfield, or your attacking option through the middle. The individual instructions aren't as important for this one, but you want one designated wide player to stay anchoring, not to come central, right? And you also want your defensive to be on your other DMF, because obviously we're going to be shoving back from a 3 into a 4, and we're going to be taking Vieira out of that position. Again, the personnel are not really that important, right? Vieira, Gilberto Silva, Araujo, whoever you want to play, Rodri, whoever, Declan Rice. But a lot of the time when you're playing against meta guys, right, it's kind of difficult to be patient because they want to play the game at their hands. But you can see in this match, we're 2-0 up. And my opponent has literally no option. Like, he doesn't know what to do. He's so confused as to how much space he's not getting in the middle of the pitch, especially when I'm playing a 3 at the back, or so he thinks, because I'm switching my sub-tactic. And that's the key to this, really. This is not meta, like, but you can still play meta with it. And you also have your option out wide. You have possession that you can mix it up. You can run manually with your players. Again, we've got our really deep Gravenberch here, and he's going to be knocking on the door at 75 minutes. And again, look who's making the run again. It's Gravenberch. Even though we're 1 defensive, when we're attacking with the sub-tactic, we're a little bit more adventurous and a little bit more attacking. Now, as I mentioned before, if you're new to the game or you stumbled upon this video, don't forget to subscribe. But this all depends on the sub-tactic, which has to be activated in-game holding down on the D-pad. It's not available on mobile as of now, but it is a game changer, especially if you're coming up against super meta players. Can it actually, like, can you compete with top 50 guys? I've beaten a few guys that were in the top 10, the top 20, the top 50 with this formation, where we've literally just been super solid at the back. We're maximizing what's good about the meta, but we're also giving ourselves a little bit of anti-meta stuff and meta stopper stuff, and also just a bit of creativity and a bit of variety, which at the moment, lads, I just struggle to understand how people are still playing this game try-hard mode when there's so many issues with the game, and every decision that you make can be undermined by smart assist or by network issues. There's just, yeah, I mean, we're at the tail end of eFootball now. It's a really fun formation. And that's not me having a go saying everybody should play this way or anything. If you enjoy playing meta, brilliant. If you enjoy grinding and beasting, brilliant. But this is super fun. I mean, you've got a lot of variety out wide. You've got your width with Nedved here, even though we hit a bad pass here. Look how set we are at the back. Vieira drops back in central, and you're thinking, where's Vieira going? We're not controlling him, but he gets the ball anyway because he's just honed in on getting that ball from a central position. That's why I don't really man-mark out wide anymore. It can work if you're playing against an out wide person, but I would say that there's only about 10%, 15% of people using out wide. And again, not that we're playing meta, but we can still go back to meta if we're struggling to break down a really, really hard defense. And you're holding the ball for so long that somebody's thinking, this guy's playing totally anti-meta, he's not spamming, boom, 80 minutes, little 1-2, pop. Playing 1-2 balls is not a scummy move, lads. I think the meta at the moment is what you'll see at the end, right? With this setup here. This nullifies the central play because you're defending in a bank of 5 against a bank of 5. So as I showed you previously, when you've got 5 attackers with a meta system, your 3 center forwards, if you're playing an opponent that's using super meta, quick counter, long ball counter, and getting the ball into those central areas. I think the biggest issue in the game at the moment for me and how I'm conceding goals, it's not getting caught in the counter attack. It's not even the 1-2 passes once we're set up like this, because this does stop the 1-2 passing if you're fairly good at defending. It will improve you defensively because you're a little bit more open than a 4 at the back. I think the biggest thing that people are kind of doing now is booting balls forward. And as I say, they're playing off scraps. And I'll show you a really good example of this. You can still score your wonder goals. You can still bring a bit of your attack and flair with this formation. But where this formation actually excels is just being able to actually have so much variety and so many options at your fingertips that genuinely people don't really know what to do when you're actually here, like facing this, right? Also, a key aspect of this as well is to have a goal poacher as one of your center forwards in this, or else you could have a target man if you want to do that. Do not play 2 goal poachers. That is my advice to you with this system if you're going to copy this formation and this setup. The second one is to have a deep line forward. The reason for this is that when you're playing a deep line forward, right, you do have to kind of add in your attacking midfielder into the attack as a centre forward. That's why I'm loving Hazard at the moment. He's just an absolute peach of a player. But it's a very interesting conundrum to have, how to stop a formation like this. You've got width, you've got central play, you can go meta every now and again, you can play possession and spread it around. You're set centrally, which is where most of your opponents are going to attack. And also for scraps, when people are just absolutely horsing the ball clear from midfield or clear from the back, waiting for your AI to actually make a mistake that's not user error generated, and then live off the scraps and get a cheap goal. That's how I've been conceding goals. My number one problem with the game at the moment, away from all the big ones, smart assist and all that, is the fact that the players get the ball trapped between their feet and you just can't do anything. But let me know what you guys think. That is just a quick meta stopper video. If you like the video, trying to do something different to keep the game fresh. It's tough, but we stay going. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and like it, share it. Talk to you later. Peace.